Ladies and gentlemen, when you've been caught in the snare of a narcissist, you have to understand something deeply disturbing. Their hatred isn't satisfied with just wanting control. Sometimes in the darkest parts of their mind, their fixation grows into something much more threatening. They don't just want to manage you. They want to absolutely destroy you, wipe you out, make you disappear, not only from their world, but from existence itself. And the signs of this sinister obsession are often quiet and hidden until it is already too late. Today, we will uncover the secret clues that reveal when a narcissist wants to see you completely broken. When a narcissist wants you destroyed, the first place you'll notice it isn't in what they actually do, but in what they picture. Behind their eyes are twisted fantasies, dark and cruel daydreams about your downfall. These are not harmless thoughts. They are obsessive, deeply unsettling, and filled with the desire to see you crushed. A narcissist doesn't just want to win an argument or make a point. They want to see you stripped of all your dignity, emptied of your spirit, and sometimes even gone from this world. They replay these thoughts in their mind like a private film, where you are the victim and they are the conquering champion. If you look carefully, you can catch tiny hints of this hidden mindset. It shows up in a cold, small smile when you make a mistake, in the strange pleasure they take when you lose something important, or in a mocking joke that cuts too deep and stays with you long after they've said it. It's frightening to realize that someone could fuel their soul with the thought of your suffering. But that's precisely what they do, because it gives them a feeling of power. Power over you, power over the situation, and most of all, power over the emptiness that lives inside them. Your pain becomes their proof of control. Your tears are not met with sympathy, but pure satisfaction. They view your hurt as confirmation that they are the one in charge. That is how a narcissist feeds, on dominance, on control, on your brokenness. And once they taste that kind of power, the thought of seeing you erased, silenced, or destroyed becomes like an addiction. They'll never admit it openly. They'll hide it behind sharp sarcasm, behind cutting jokes, or little slips in conversation. You'll hear comments like, "You would be nothing without me," or "One day you will regret ever leaving me." It may sound like simple arrogance, but beneath those words lies something much darker, a dangerous fantasy they secretly nourish. And here is the truth. Fantasies eventually demand action. The more they envision your collapse, the more they want to make it happen in reality. That's why so many survivors of narcissistic abuse say they felt as though their abuser was just waiting for them to completely fall apart. It's not just fear, it's instinct. On some level, you can sense when someone doesn't just dislike you, but truly wants to see you ruined. You can feel it in the silence when you are struggling, in the cold satisfaction when you fail, and in the clear disappointment they show when you recover. They don't want you strong or happy because your strength proves they don't own you. And that is something they simply cannot stand. So their imagination turns darker. It shifts from just hoping you fail to actually picturing you gone. That is why it is so crucial to pay attention to those small warning signs, the strange smile when you are hurt, the comfort they take when tragedy touches your life, the odd way they seem to expect your total downfall. These are not accidents. These are glimpses into a disturbed mind rehearsing your end. And when you finally see it clearly, you understand how truly dangerous that silent fantasy really is. Before a narcissist ever dreams of your physical destruction, they go after something even more cruel, the destruction of your identity. It doesn't happen quickly. It is slow, careful, and fully intentional. They strip you away piece by piece until the person you once were feels completely foreign. This is their real talent, killing your spirit long before they even think about ending your presence. It starts quietly. They question your choices, your thoughts, your dreams. At first, it seems like they are giving helpful advice or showing sincere concern, but soon it becomes a constant attack on your self-belief. Are you sure you can do that? No one else thinks you're capable. You're not as clever as you think you are. Those words are poison. They enter your mind slowly until one day you actually start believing them. That's the first step. When their voice becomes louder than your own, then comes isolation. They sever your connections one by one. Friends are labeled as bad influences. Family members are called jealous or unsupportive. Slowly, you find yourself alone with only the narcissist remaining as your sole source of truth. And when their voice is the only one you hear, their version of reality becomes yours. They tell you who you are, what you should want, what you should feel. Bit by bit, you disappear. You stop existing as an individual. You become their property, their creation, their mirror. This is not love. It is a psychological execution. Once they've cut you off from everyone and everything that keeps you grounded, they attack your passions. The hobbies that once gave you joy, they mock them. The work you were proud of, they belittle it. The dreams that once gave you hope, they laugh at them until you feel silly for ever believing in them. What they are doing is taking apart your sense of self. If they can destroy what makes you unique, they can make you empty. And when you're empty, you're easy to throw away. This process of erasing your identity is the first stage of death in their twisted story. Once they've hollowed you out emotionally, the step toward wanting you gone entirely is not a large one. They have already tested your limits. They know how much of your spirit they can crush, how much of your fire they can put out, how much of you they can erase without serious resistance. And when they succeed, they feel incredibly powerful. You're not just a person they dislike. You're someone they have already killed on the inside. What makes this even more terrifying is that you often don't notice it happening until it's too late. One day you wake up and you absolutely do not recognize yourself. You doubt everything you do. You feel small, useless, and undeserving of love. You start to truly believe that you are nothing without them. That is not an accident. It is the outcome they planned from the beginning. They want you lifeless in spirit long before they destroy your body or your future. Many survivors of narcissistic abuse describe this as feeling dead inside because that's exactly what the narcissist desires, to erase your soul before they ever think of erasing your existence. When a narcissist sets their eyes on destroying you, control becomes their whole focus. It's no longer about simple influence, it's about total dominance. They want to possess your every movement, every thought, every single breath. They watch your life like a predator, treating it as if it completely belongs to them. Every decision you make is examined, questioned, and torn apart. They cannot tolerate the thought of you living a life that is beyond their reach. Every phone conversation, every text message, every outing becomes a direct threat to the control they desperately want. And the more you try to take back your freedom, the more aggressive they become. This control often begins subtly. It hides under the mask of concern. Who were you talking to? Where exactly are you going? What did you tell them? These may sound like harmless questions, but they are not. They are a form of constant watching. A way to track your every move, to guess your behavior, to prepare their next trick. They keep detailed mental notes about your friends, your daily routines, your deepest fears. Every small detail becomes a weapon. And each time you act independently, they respond with anger, suspicion, or intense guilt. What makes this so dangerous is how slowly it builds up. It starts with small suggestions, tiny corrections here and there. Maybe you shouldn't wear that. I don't think that person truly likes you. You always mess that up. Slowly, it becomes total control. They tell you who you can see, where you can go, what you must say. You start doubting your own mind until just giving in feels so much easier than fighting back. You tell yourself it's not worth the huge battle, but every time you agree, they just pull the chains tighter. Yet, no matter how much power you hand over to them, it is never enough. They don't want equality. They want full domination. When a narcissist feels like they can't manage you anymore, When they realize that, you still have some strength left, some freedom left, they immediately see you as a threat. And in their warped world, threats must be eliminated. Because if they can't completely bend you to their will, then the only outcome they will accept is your destruction. Their fixation with control is deeply connected to their fixation with your disappearance. What makes it truly frightening is how personal it feels. It is not distant, not random, it is intimate. You are not just caught in some bad situation. You are being controlled by a mind that sees your life as a playground for their power. The more you resist, the harder they push. They study your routines, twist simple situations, and test every single limit. They look for weak spots, for cracks, for ways to completely crush your independence. Every time you try to take back control, they come back stronger because, to them, you are simply not allowed to exist outside of their command. This kind of obsession is exhausting. It is terrifying. It leaves you worn out, confused, and alone. You start doubting yourself, questioning your thoughts, and fearing what will happen if you dare to act freely. And while you are desperately trying to hold on to your sanity, the narcissist is already planning for the moment when they no longer need to control you, the moment they can completely erase you. Their hunger for control slowly turns into a craving for destruction. For them, control is never just about simple power. It is about ownership, complete possession, and total domination. And when ownership starts to slip away, the desire to see you gone immediately takes its place. One of the most dangerous ways a narcissist shows this hidden desire to destroy you is through quiet, invisible attacks on your reputation. They rarely attack you in the open. Instead, they work through whispers, small lies, and twisted versions of the truth. This is the art of character assassination, a slow, silent battle meant to make you look weak, guilty, or mentally unstable to everyone around you. It is subtle. Outsiders may never even notice it, but to you, it feels like your whole world is completely collapsing. While you're trying to keep your dignity, they are rewriting how others perceive you. Smear campaigns are their favorite weapon. They begin small, just a tiny distortion of the truth, a calculated lie hidden as sincere concern. Tell friends and family partial stories that make you seem difficult or totally unreliable. They show co-workers a version of events that paints them as the victim and you as the actual problem. And anyone who might stand by your side slowly starts to back away, unsure of who or what to believe. These lies are extremely hard to fight because they are coated with fragments of truth, timed to your emotional reactions, and built around your normal human flaws. By the time you even realize what's truly happening, they've already successfully turned others against you. This tactic is so dangerous because it attacks before you can even defend yourself. You feel it before you understand it. Friends become cold, CO workers act distant, family looks at you differently, you sense judgment but have no idea why. That's when the narcissist smiles. Their pleasure comes from watching you question your own worth, from seeing you isolated, confused, and utterly unsure. They don't have to touch you to destroy you. Your social world becomes the weapon. Every relationship is twisted into a tool of their control. By controlling what others think of you, they shrink your life. They make your circle smaller, your confidence weaker, and your existence feel completely meaningless. When they reach that point, when you are surrounded by silence and suspicion, they've already practiced your total erasure. They don't need to destroy you physically, they've already successfully erased you in the minds of others. You begin to live as a mere shadow of yourself, doubting your every move, unsure what is even true anymore. That confusion is their victory. Every rumor, every half-truth, every small lie becomes another brick in the wall of your isolation. Their goal is not just to hurt you. It's to ensure that no one believes you, no one supports you, and no one sees your value. When they succeed, they can step back and watch as you desperately fight to survive in a world they have completely poisoned. That's why it is so important to see the warning signs early. The odd comments from friends, the strange distance of coworkers, the sudden and dramatic shift in how people treat you. Those are not just accidents. They are the clear marks of a narcissist rehearsing your destruction. Their cruelty goes far beyond simple manipulation. It is driven by the twisted pleasure they get from witnessing your pain. They don't just want control, they want to feel alive through your suffering. It actually excites them to see you in distress. It makes them feel incredibly powerful to watch you completely fall apart. Your sadness becomes their entertainment, your fear, their joy, your breakdown, their total victory. They take quiet delight in every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of utter hopelessness. They might not show it openly. Sometimes they hide behind false kindness, fake sympathy, or carefully chosen words of concern. But behind the mask is a cold, hard satisfaction. They are keeping score. Every time you break, every time you struggle, they feel stronger. They collect your pain like valuable trophies. They do not offer help when you need comfort. They stand by pretending to care while secretly feeding on the sight of your suffering. At first, their cruelty seems small, a cutting remark, a sarcastic joke, a hidden insult disguised as useful advice. But those moments quickly add up. Each one chips away at your confidence until you actually start believing their lies about you. They create doubt so deep that you start questioning your own basic worth. And once you see that confusion in your eyes, they know they have full control. That's what they truly want. To make you dependent, to make you fragile, to make you believe that peace only exists when they graciously allow it. This pattern never stops. It just grows over time. They find new ways to provoke you, to manipulate you, to completely tear you apart. Your reactions become their personal game. Every time you cry, defend yourself, or lose control, they win another round. They do not admire your strength. They see it as a direct challenge to crush. Every act of courage you show only pushes them to be more cruel. Your pain becomes their ultimate purpose and your destruction their final goal. What makes this truly dangerous is how completely normal it looks from the outside. To the world, the narcissist often appears charming, generous, or deeply caring. People see them as patient and kind, while you, the victim, seem emotional, distant, or completely unstable. That's part of their plan. They construct two separate realities, one for the public and one just for you. You live in the private nightmare while they wear a mask of innocence in front of everyone else. They'll even make you doubt your own perception. You'll start wondering if you are actually the problem. Maybe I am too sensitive. Maybe I just misunderstood. That confusion is exactly what they want. The more uncertain you are, the easier it is for them to control your feelings. When you can't trust yourself, you end up depending on them even more. That dependency feeds their ego and fuels their sense of superiority, but their final desire goes far beyond just control. It slides into something much darker, the fantasy of your complete and total disappearance. Watching you suffer is just a practice session for that final act. They want to live in a world where you simply no longer exist, where your name is forgotten, where your influence is entirely erased. It's not about love or loss. It is about total domination and complete victory. You can clearly see this shift when they start to prepare for a life without you. Happens quietly at first, almost impossible to notice. They begin creating a life that simply does not include you, forming new connections, seeking replacements, building new alliances. They may flirt with others, start new friendships, or align with people who can serve their next chapter. To you, it feels cold and strange. To them, it feels exciting, like absolute freedom. They begin studying your life, your talents, your achievements, your relationships, your belongings, and imagining how to take or replace them. It is not about surviving after you're gone. It is about winning. They want to prove that they can not only live without you, but truly thrive because you are gone. They start rehearsing this victory in their mind, picturing themselves as the one who emerged stronger, cleaner, and more successful. This mental rehearsal is not just a fantasy, it is actual preparation. Every move they make is carefully calculated to ensure that when you are finally gone, there will be no evidence of you left behind. They slowly erase your influence, replace your connections, and steal your story. You beck, "I'm a ghost," before you even leave. They rewrite the entire narrative so that, in everyone's eyes, you are the villain and they are the poor victim who survived you. And what's most chilling is how peaceful they seem during this whole phase. They no longer rage or argue. Instead, they become distant, unnervingly calm, almost totally detached. That calm is not healing, it is calculation. It is the silence of someone who has already decided that your chapter in their story is finished. They are simply waiting for the perfect moment to close the book for good. This is the narcissist's final stage, the change from control to elimination. Their obsession doesn't stop at just owning you, it extends to completely erasing you. They want to ensure that you have no place to return to, no voice to speak with, no one who will believe your side. It is the cruelest form of power, not just to manage your life, but to rewrite the very memory of your existence. To survive this, you must see the simple truth behind their mask. Understand that their calm is not real peace, their kindness is not genuine care, their words are not love. Everything is a strategic move in their game to maintain control. Prepare for your final erasure. Recognize it early. Protect your clear boundaries. Guard your good name. Preserve your own truth. Because once a narcissist begins imagining a world without you, they are already actively building it. They are creating a future where your voice is silenced, your story is rewritten, and your existence is completely forgotten. But their dark fantasy doesn't have to become your fate. The power they claim only survives through your belief in it. The moment you stop feeding their control, their illusion begins to instantly crack. And in that space, in that silence where you reclaim your worth, their empire of lies begins to fall apart.